Hi, guys. Welcome back to the VMU podcast. My name is Joella.
And my name is Suma.
Guys, so before we start, me and Suma were just talking about we're traveling soon. And why did she just say that she would rather sit next to a strange man before she sits next to me on a plane for a long duration of time? Do you know how rude that is?
I said that only because if you know Joella, you know that sometimes she'll just want to be in your space. Like that long duration of time, I need to be zen. I don't need a little distraction. She'll just be like, she'll start poking you or she'll start touching you or just she'll say random things. With all due respect, I could do like 3-4 hours max. But anything longer than that is pushing it. Or like if I want to sleep, she would probably be waking me up.
Suma, you're still going?
No, I'm being honest. Like she like when she wants to talk or when she wants to do something, girl, I'm trying to sleep. I'm trying to do my work. That's why.
That's so interesting. That's you. How many times you call me a day? Like 4 times a day. You bother me more. Anyways, that's besides the point. Y'all, we were currently we were on the phone last night. We were like low key obsessing over the Moses Bliss and Marie Wiseborn wedding. And I personally loved it. Like I don't understand the hate that she got for wanting to go the more simple route for when getting married. She wanted to have her natural hair, her natural face, and like people were like in the comments like, "Oh, there's a different way to do simplicity. That this isn't classy." She looked gorgeous. Like I was obsessed because she just looked so beautiful because she was just in her like she was radiating beauty.
I think people get too caught up on the materialistic side of weddings and that was beautiful. The woman is a beautiful woman. She ate. Like I think a lot of people were spewing their insecurities because they can't you can't pull it off. Let's call a spade a spade. They couldn't pull it off, but their wedding was so beautiful. And we're also talking about how that man loves that woman. Like there was a couple of videos, I think it might have been after their actual wedding or maybe the traditional, I don't remember, when like he would not let that dress touch the floor. Like some weddings that man be with his groomsman and that dress was dragging in the mud, but like he cared so much. It's so beautiful and refreshing to see. Like, oh, when God sends you that word, sorry.
Just seeing the way he loved her, like you could just tell like that's a man sent from God for her because like his eyes were literally only on her. Even when he was singing, like when they were worshiping, like he would look at her and like you could just tell like he was just in love with her in a healthy way. Like it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Anyways, this is just that wedding's just a beautiful example of knowing when to wait for the right person and knowing when to open that door as well because like some of y'all, you be having great prospects, but then like you be rushing it. But yeah, that's our topic for today is knowing what doors to close and what doors to keep open and allowing God to close certain doors and allowing God to keep certain doors open as well. But yeah, we're gonna get right into it.
But I have a question before we get into the topic for real, for real. So we're talking about open and closed doors, and I have a question for you, Joe. Um, do you sometimes find yourself reopening doors that you know should be closed, God already closed, or like you sometimes like maybe you want to open it, but you just want to see how whatever behind the door is doing or whatever the door is.
I definitely am not the one to say I open doors before God, but I definitely hold on to doors that God is trying to close. And I feel like God doesn't close one door without opening another door. But sometimes we don't want that door to close because we don't know if another door is going to be open. And me personally, like I feel like I definitely like have good like not good but like strong attachments to like the people I love and like my family, my friends, like things that I love to do as well. I have like strong attachments towards them. But like for example, if God is trying to like let's say close a friendship, like if I'm not ready for it, oh, I'm going to hold on to the handle. I'm gonna
Yeah.
be playing tug of war with God, and you don't even know why he's trying to close that door. And sometimes it's just because like you're literally getting hurt more, like you're going through the fire more, and he's trying to like like Joella, like this is too much. Like you actually have to let this person go. But it's like, well, I still want to fight. I still want to make it work. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of the time, like I need to personally learn how to let doors close. And I genuinely I feel like I'm still learning, but it's really hard for me because it's just like, well, like what are you seeing that I'm not seeing? Like
Right.
why do you want to close that door? Like what is behind the door that you're seeing that I'm still trying to keep open?
That's the same with me. I feel like honestly though, it is also a lack of trust too, because like sometimes we hold on to like memories and people so long, and especially like we always know when it's expired, but there's always like a belief in the back of our minds, like if I do one more, they're gonna see how much I care. If I do this, they're going to want to reciprocate the same energy. But at the same time, like I don't like the saying, but it's true in some scenarios. If that person wanted to, they would, because they would reciprocate the same energy. They would, not even person, sometimes it's job, or like sometimes it's like opportunities that you thought were for you, but like yeah, God will, when he closes something, it's always for the better, but it's hard because our vision is limited to what we can see, and his vision is not limited. He knows what's to come. He knows what um what's why he's closing the door. And also like I saw a TikTok, I think it was last night, and this girl was talking about how like if you keep reopening whatever door or whatever the thing is, you're going to keep going through that lesson. It's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. And you're wondering why you're stagnant. It's because you will not let that door fully close. You might close the door, but open it for a peek. You might close the door, but you're still stalking the door on social media. You know what I mean? Like you're not fully closing the door, because what are you doing when you close the door? You can't see what's on the other side of the door. You don't know what's going on the other side of the door. It's giving up whatever that is. It's giving up the idea of what you wanted to come, and like putting aside what you want and understanding, oh, God has something better for me. God has a better opportunity for me. God just doesn't want me in this area as well. But yeah, that's, I think we have the same type of answer. But I do, if I'm being 100% honest, like I sometimes I play more than tug of war with the door, because I'm like, God, like, what's the reason? I'm a questioner. I always want to know why. And sometimes it's like, I will show you why. Just wait and trust in me.
In Deuteronomy 29 verse 21 29, it says that the hidden things are revealed to God, and the things that are revealed to us belong to us. And I think sometimes we kind of want to see what is revealed to God as well as what is revealed to us. Like what is revealed to God belongs to God, and what is revealed to us belongs to us. And God, we don't know what God is trying to keep from us. Like sometimes those closed doors can be our protection and for our preparation as well. And I think like you said, the unknown is scary, and not knowing what's behind that door is the reason why like we're constantly trying to like figure it out, because we want to know everything. Like that's how humans are.
Yeah.
We're nosy. We want to know what's going on 24/7. Like I want to know why you did that, or I want to know why she's moving this way or this person's moving that way towards me. But for your own protection, God is closing that door. Or even for your own preparation for something even bigger, God is trying to close that door. But a lot of the time, like we don't want to allow closed doors to happen just because we aren't ready for it to happen.
Right.
But God doesn't work on his own time, on our time. He works on his own time.
Yeah.
And also God is outside of time.
Right.
So what we think is taking forever, what we think is unfair, whatever the case may be, like he's working on something else.
Right.
And I think that's one thing that's tied to those like doors is time.
Mhm. And no, you brought up a great point, because I wasn't even thinking about the time part, honestly. But it's true. Going back, opening doors, not opening doors, but just like wanting the door to be open again is wasting your time. And just wasting potential when you can be doing what God wants for you. You could be, because that takes up a lot of time when you're thinking about something, or when like a situation happens. Like, yes, I know in the beginning it's sometimes hard, no matter what it is. Like, I feel like people are always talking about um people, but like it, like jobs as well too. When you thought something was supposed to be for you and you don't get it, it makes you feel a certain type of way. And like dwelling in it and just like basking in it will also make you lose time. And just like, it's just so, the mind is so interesting, because you know when you dwell on or like, have you met somebody who like they're a liar, like they lie for, like they're so good at lying they believe the lies, like. And that's sometimes what it's like when you dwell on something that you were supposed to, you thought was supposed to be yours. You're not even going to be in the way for your blessing, because you're still pondering and dwelling. This person, I swear this person was for me. That job opportunity, that internship, that position, whatever it was, like when you stay in that area, there's no room for you to go to the next place. And you're just going to be stagnant, or you're constantly like looking back. I know one thing, I think we might have talked about it in like when we're talking about girls for, or women for the Valentine's Day series. Um, how we like to look back at things, or like be, what happened to Lot's wife when she looked back? God forbid I ever turn into Saul, or physically or metaphorically, however it happened, you know? Like, I do not want to be stagnant because I'm constantly looking back at what happened, or not what's to come. And I think we just can't grasp that. I know, like, I I had to ask God, like, Lord, please help me to stop looking back, because like it's not getting you anywhere. It's really not. It's just gonna keep you in that same spot. And like it will start to trickle out into the rest of the areas of your life, because you look back in that area, now you're looking back, oh, I could have done that better in school. Oh, I could have done that better in that friendship. Oh, I could have gone back and done that better. And it doesn't serve you anything. I think, I know both of us, we're in a season where it's like, if something doesn't serve me, no matter, not even people, whatever it is, it has to go. It has to go, because it's not, there's nothing that can grow from that. You can't grow from that. And we also need to start saying thank you for the closed doors. Thank you, God, because you saw what I can't see. You saw what that was going to do to me. If I wouldn't even be able to handle it. I couldn't handle that job because it's not for me. That person, I couldn't, because I have too much going on. You know, thank God for the no's. It's not always God, why did you do that? But thank you for protecting me from what I cannot see.
That was good. I loved how you said that, the thank yous, and that low key kind of like convicted me, because like, you know that saying when it's like, oh, when one door opens, another one, when one door closes, another one opens. But sometimes like you can get so fixated over the fact that that door closed that you can't even see the fact that another one opened. Like you're so worried, like, but why was it a no? Why was it a rejection? Why did they not pick me? The fact that there's another door even opening, but you can't see it because there's so, because your mind is so like stuck on the fact that that one closed. I feel like that's low key me right now, because like currently I'm like applying for internships. You know, like I'm applying for like different like areas, and like, don't start crying, Suma. Anyways, but yeah, for summer internship opportunities. Hey, and like I think when you apply for so much, like you feel like, oh, okay, I have so many opportunities, I have so many doors, but you're literally probably only going to get one. And I guess you don't, well, I personally don't really like, I didn't really realize how many no's are going to come in before that yes comes in.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes because God works on, like, his plan and his purpose for you, seeing all those no's is kind of like, well, why do I even do this then? Why do I even go out of my way to apply? Why do I even go out of my way to make sure that my portfolio is good, my resume is good, whatever the case may be? You know what I mean?
Right.
But when that yes comes, don't be so locked in on the nose that you miss the yes. Like you
Right.
like you don't even see that there's another door open for you. God knows why you're supposed to be in a certain spot.
Mhm.
And if he closes 1,000 doors and and leaves one open for you, don't be confused by the thousand closed, because he knew why that you needed to be at that one. But we aren't God. We can't see what's going on behind closed doors. And we don't know the opportunities that the yes will bring. But I think all we see is the no, and like, okay, well, I'm not capable, or okay, this is not going my way, or I want to continue to go down the pathway of trying to figure out why it was a no in the first place.
Right.
And yeah, you can get stuck in time. You can get stuck in trying to figure those out. That you kind of just let everything else pass you by. And low key reminds me of the Risa Tisa situation. I can't lie, I watched all 50 parts.
Really?
Yes,
I just watched one summary.
man, like I think I was really locked in because the fact that like it just brought to my attention how important it is to not rush God. Like if he closes a door, if he gives you any type of sign to lock it, why did you go and unlock it? And that's what really was like I had to do a deep dive. Literally had to do a deep dive because it was just like so many things came about in the like the beginning of the relationship that looked like a door was trying to close, but it was like she was holding on to the fact that marriage was on the other side. But is it good marriage? No.
I wasn't deep in Risa Tisa, but I like watched some clips, and this is not like just her situation. This is a lot of people that like we don't see the signs of doors closing, and that sometimes can be the result of like that type of turmoil is insane, you know? And it's not, I'm not saying it's like her fault, but like
Oh, it's her fault.
it is in some like a lot of hers was just very mainstream, and a lot of people's is hidden. Like we don't know, we don't see, or we don't see what other people are going through unless they tell you. But like even when a friend is telling you about a situation, my response is leave that man alone. Leave him alone. Leave people, especially when it comes to people, leave them where they're at, because tugging on that door will bring you things that you wouldn't even imagine what happened to your life. Everybody, even in her situation, nobody would wish that on themselves. It's because of constant, I'm opening this door. I really want to open this door. I really want, we crave these things so deeply that it will make us act out of character. And it'll make us get in certain situations where we never thought. Cause like I always would be like, how do people get in abusive relationships? How do those things happen? Things like that just don't happen. It's because of we're not aware. We have a blinding on our eyes because we love people so much and we have hope in people so much. But that's why when things are supposed to be closed, leave it as it is.
Yeah.
Leave it as it is, because it's just gonna bring you more hurt in the ending.
Yeah, that whole Risa Tisa situation, like, it's sad, but like I think her story was meant to be told exactly when it was meant to be told. Because I do feel like if we want to take things our own way, God will let you go through the fire. Like he will let you go. If you want to do it your own way, he will allow you to do it your own way. And in 2020, when she was doing things her own way, he allowed her to do it her own way. But at the end of the day, we are still his children. So regardless if we go through the fire, he's still going to fulfill his promise to us. And the fact that like even though she went through a I don't wish that on anybody, but God still blessed her a year and some change later. Like three whatever years later, she's flourishing now. She's doing whatever she needs to do with her testimony, because sometimes like we need character development. Sometimes we need to, if we don't want to close the door, fine, don't close the door. Go ahead and go through whatever that door holds. And that will give you character development. But yeah, I definitely believe that like man, if you really want to do things your own way, God will let you do things your own way. Like sometimes it's not even the devil, it's you, it's our flesh is still a big part of our life decisions, because the flesh is weak, it's going to make poor decisions. And if we keep allowing our flesh to do what it wants, trust it will take over. And that's why the Bible says die to your flesh daily, die to your own desires daily, because if your own desire is taking you down one door constantly, you're going to reap the consequences from that decision every single time. And also I feel like sometimes like God will literally, when you're in like a struggle or like a situation, God will give you a door to get out of it, but then there'll be another door, and that's basically based on your own like decision. Because like it kind of reminds me of the story of like the apostles in the Bible where they were in prison, and God and they were like locked in a cell, but God only opened the cell. Like he sent an angel to open the cell, but they were still in the prison. Like sometimes like we be deep, deep in struggle. And like for example, like even like me personally, I have a battle with my money. Like I'm literally learning how to be financially like, responsible. And I feel like I've been doing good so far, but I'm still, learning how to do that. But like, one thing I feel like I'll be like, oh man, like I need a breakthrough. I need another job. I need another like, source of income opportunity. And God will give me that. But God would just open the cell for me to have a little bit of financial stability. That doesn't mean I'm out of the prison. It doesn't mean I'm better at saving now. That doesn't mean that I know how to like, um be better with my money. Like I'm still in the prison. I gotta figure out how to get out. I gotta figure out how to actually be better, be like out of the situation for real. Cause he just opened the cell for me. He didn't open both doors yet. Cause he wants to see like, well, how am I gonna act now that I'm out of the cell? Like, what are you gonna do to get out of the prison? And I think a lot of the time, like some of us really go through the fire and God will get us out the cell, but then we're like, okay, now we're rejoicing because we're out of the cell, but we're still in the prison. We haven't really figured out how to get out because we're just, now we're just in a new environment, a new setting, but we're still going through the same struggles. Sometimes you gotta allow God to open both those doors so he can see that you actually really want to get out of what you're struggling with and let him close that door as well so he knows that you don't want to go back.
Exactly what she said. There's something else that you said earlier that I really liked that reminded me of like now. I feel like I don't know exactly what you said, but it's really trendy to open doors because we have sayings that people say like spin the block or all this stuff. And like while it's a joke at certain times, like there is truth behind like or breaking contact. Like um someone I'm not a chief at breaking contact. I'm when I say it, I'm kidding. When others say it, I don't know about that. But like it's for real though. Like yes, it's a joke in a sense, but it's like people like you'll go somebody will have a video that's viral and it'll be like, oh, like whatever, something about breaking contact, and you'll see the comments, it'll be thousands of people of agreeing and like I'm gonna assume probably out of the thousands, there's probably hundreds who actually do. And it's a joke, but it's also not a joke because you're opening these doors that God so badly wants you to close for your own good. And look at like I think about my college decision. I so badly wanted to stay in Minnesota. I was like, there's a family here. I could go. I don't have to go too far. I could go to a school that's 2 hours away. I could still drive home. I couldn't see what God saw, but Chicago, I'm understanding now because I'm living in it, you know? And it's because we can't see what God sees for us. Chicago's been the biggest blessing. If I would have stayed in Minnesota, especially like because the school I was going to go to, it would have probably like it's in Winona, Minnesota, very small, white area. And like I just thank God that I didn't go there. Because look at this life. Look at everything that's coming and to come from just going to school in Chicago, you know? The people I've met, the experience, the community, the foundation of this new ministry, all these new ministries. You know what I mean? Like it's because we couldn't see what God saw. And I use this as an example when I want to open up a door that needs to be closed because you couldn't see when you wanted to stay in Minnesota, but look at what Chicago brought you. Look what God showed you in Chicago. Look at the people. Okay. I don't like giving her too many accolades and she starts acting out. But no, but for real though, like it brought me a literally another family. Like this community, this what we have is very we're blessed. We're blessed with good friends, we're blessed with good people. We're blessed with so much. So just like think about something in your life that you when you finally close the door and God showed you the reason why and apply it to every other situation. Close that door on that friendship, God is going to bring you 10. Close the door on that relationship, God is going to bring you what maybe not right then and there, but he's gonna bring you that person when it's time. Close the door on whatever it may be, that job, and God's gonna give you a job that's way more than you expected, you know? Just close the door and leave it closed. If you have to go buy the lock from the store, go buy the personal lock and lock it and forget the password. It's that serious. I just like in my own life, like especially with people, I struggle with that, and it's something that I'm working on. I'm not perfect at it because like it's hard with people. It's hard with people you grew up with. It's hard with people that you love, especially friendships. Like people always say relationship, but friendships. Like I put so much time and effort. Like what did I do? You know? Especially when someone says they don't want to be your friend, I'm just like, okay, like what can I do better? But it's not. Nine times out of 10, it's not you. It's that person. God has to do His work in that person, and if they're meant to be, they will be back, all in due time. But if not, like close the door and let it be. Because when I also closed the door on my old friendships in the first half of college, look at what the second half brought. You know, these newfound friendships, these friendships that I couldn't even imagine this is what we'll be doing. This is not even our normal for filming day. We're filming before class. You know what I mean? Like it's just like it's bigger than us. And we said in the last pod, but God is just He's doing stuff that's so much bigger than us that we can't understand. And it's not for us to understand, but God, He's working and He wants to work with us, but we have to give Him space to work. We have to allow Him to remove the things in order for us to grow. In the Bible, they use a lot of like plant references because you can't grow. Plants can't grow when there's weeds around them. Plants can't flourish if there's thorns that need to come off of them. There's so many reasons why God wants to remove certain things, but we so deeply hold on to the things He needs to remove out of our lives.
That was great. I have nothing else to add for real. Yeah, I think that one verse that says that every what branch that doesn't bear fruit, God will cut off, but He'll keep the ones that do bear fruit. So if something is falling off and you're wondering why, it's because it's not bearing fruit no more. It's because it's not sustaining you. And the ones that are still there, the ones that are even um holding you up, supporting you, there for you even through the fires, because those are bearing fruit. And yeah, I think as the year is progressing, as we are in 2024, as we're in the third month, let God close some doors that need to be closed and watch Him open up doors that you didn't even know could be open. And yeah, that's all we have to say today. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching as well. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.